Welcome back to OtakuDaiKun. Dai here, and today's video is brought to you by my $50 patron, KK. I've been asked to hone in on all the great aspects of Fate Kaleid Liner Prisma Illya, both in manga and anime form. It may not be my personal favorite, but it's true that many fans of Type Moon tend to skip or otherwise write this one off, which is a shame since Prisma Illya has a lot to offer, even to those who aren't down with its edgier elements. Without further ado, here's why you should watch, or read, Ilya's journey as a magical girl. Obviously, if you're a fan of Ilia, you'll want more of her, but this goes a bit deeper. This is literally the one time Ilia isn't destined to meet a horrible end as a homunculus. No running out of her limited lifespan, no getting her eyes sliced open or her heart gouged out, no sacrificing herself to invoke heaven's feel. Prisma Illya occurs on a timeline where Kiritsugu and illyasviel choose their daughter over the potential success of the Grail War. They dismantle that system so that Ilia can grow up like a normal girl. This is a huge boon to her maids, Sella and Leysritt, who wind up with more lively, less strict personalities. Good for them. Now they aren't being impaled or decapitated by Gilgamesh. Now, I suppose the same sentiment can come from parts of Carnival Phantasm, Hollow Ataraxia, or today's menu for the Emiya family, but those are mainly focused on slice of life, conveniently ignoring Ilia's lifespan and not really advancing the narrative much. Prisma Illya is unique in that it gives Ilia a proper adventure and spotlight. It's also worth noting that, while there's a pleasant side to Ilia's adventure, it's also filled with dark, mature themes. The world the Ainsworths come from is miserable, with Miyu being a tragic figure worth saving. I like this, because it allows Ilia to confront that darkness and actually overcome it through strength and force of will. Some people think magical girl anime are all about being cute and bubbly, and while there's definitely a component of that, there's plenty of brutality to be had as well. Prisma Illya isn't just a magical girl-themed spin-off. It's a proper magical girl show in its own right, able to stand toe-to-toe with the likes of Madoka Magica, Precure, and Sailor Moon. It's even had a crossover with lyrical Nanoha. The animation is often a testament to that. Aside from the occasional use of CG for large monsters and such, Illya has a surprising amount of sakuga, or impressive animation. Hopefully the clips I'm showing here speak for themselves. I'm especially fond of the anime's various opening songs, which are brilliantly paced and binge-worthy. Something about their aesthetic feels like getting a nice, warm hug. One thing that Illya has over its competing magical girl anime is a fun assortment of transformations. Beyond their default costumes, Ilia and Miyu also change appearance when invoking the various class cards. This allows the author to design different uniforms catered to existing Nasuverse characters, reimagined as something flattering, both familiar and fresh. Also notice how I haven't been catering this video towards the O Thunder Snow movie. Don't get me wrong, miyuverse Shirou is awesome and all, but too many people think they can just watch that film and skip the rest of the series. There's a reason the show has been made into 4 seasons and 2 movies. Not all of it is as intense as later chapters, but like I said before, it's nice to breathe a bit and enjoy Ilia's peaceful downtime. It's also the longest-running, ongoing manga in the Fate series. We've been blessed with it for the past 15 years, and it still doesn't get the recognition it deserves. One of my favorite aspects of Prisma Illya is its great use of side characters. Those who only get brief cameos in Nasu's own works wind up with much more screen time here. Chief among them is Luvia. We get a bit of her in Unlimited Blade Works and El Malloy Case Files, but Illya is definitely where we get the bulk of her content. I love seeing her rivalry with Rin, the two of them making for well-meaning yet flawed mentors for Ilia and Miyu respectively. Reluctantly, they can also make for a great team when the going gets rough. Of course, we can't forget about Bazett, who also takes up a proper role here. Her Hollow Ataraxia openings in Carnival Phantasm just aren't enough to properly represent Bazett in anime form. Her fight scenes are some of Illya's best, and unless Hollow Ataraxia gets a full adaptation, it's bound to stay that way. Also, even though she's not really the same design anymore, we also get more representation for Karen Hortensia. Then we have the show's original characters. Angelica's obviously my favorite. She's the closest we'll ever get to a female Gilgamesh, which is great, since we can steal his aesthetic without endorsing his toxic actions and personality. Beatrice is also a lovable goblin. I love how the author incorporated her use of Mjolnir. The contrast of a small girl holding a massive hammer just works so well. Then there's Julian, who's a lot more likable than, say, Shinji Mato. Speaking of Julian, he and his entire Ainsworth family expand on the overall lore of the Nasuverse. Their use of flash air, or displacement magecraft, is a fun addition to magecraft as a whole. Miyu's world, dying of mana depletion, is very much akin to the doomed futures of Lost Belts, bridging a lot of parallels with Fate Grand Order, at least on a philosophical level. I'm glad this story deals with Pandora's box. That was always such a cool mythological concept. In terms of universal lore, Ilia toys with the concept that humanity has a collective origin that can be traced back through the tree of human history. All of the world's diverging timelines must have emerged from the same point Darius calls the Creator. I'm excited to learn if that's true, and what it means for the overall multiverse. The kaleidosticks, Ruby and Sapphire, are a great extension of Zelrech's kaleidoscope magic. Why am I not surprised that this old geezer has a thing for magical girls? The entire concept around the class cards is genius too. Why summon a heroic spirit when you can become one? Seems a lot more efficient than confiding in a servant who might betray you. So there you have it, my reasons why you should check out Prisma Illya. Have I perhaps convinced you to give it a shot? I was gonna say you can watch the entire series on HiDive, but despite Sentai Filmworks being the Western distributor, and HiDive being their exclusive platform, they're still missing the first, third, and fourth seasons. Crunchyroll is also supposed to have them, but while you can find its listing, none of its episodes are currently available. Nobody seems to want to pay to renew streaming rights, so as far as I'm concerned, sail the high seas, and perhaps buy the Blu-rays if you like what you see. Seriously, licensors can fuck off with that shit. Again, thanks to KK for funding this video, and another thanks for not having a third K in there. Until next time, celebrate your fandom. I want to give a special shout out to all my $10 and up supporters: Video Gamer 75, Dante Pendragon, Time Travel Master, Stephen Elak, Mystic Samurai 1983, Otaku Mom, Free Brick, Jugemu Unko, Lunarworks, Link Pendrago, James Hewitt, Uncanny EXP, Crow Calum, Sal Soto, Major, Matal Mataru, Winter's Edge, Thanathiel, Foxbox, Alzinga Fagan, Draco Chaotic, Caitlin P, Sith Lord 906, Vladimirovna, The Taz 96, Kengo X 77, Alistair Bernadotte, and Liamon 3. Thank you all so much.